Welcome to Alpha Wolf Trading. Did you know that there's over 12,000 stocks or companies that trade on the OTC? Between the NASDAQ and the New York Stock Exchange, you have over 7,000 companies. But us as retail investors, we wouldn't know that unless we were researching. Because why? Wall Street focuses on the elite, the big companies. And where the retail investor has their advantage is in small and micro-cap stocks. Why? Because you have the opportunity to speak directly with leadership. That is what this is all about here at Alpha Wolf Trading. We're trying to find the hidden gems, and we interview the executive teams of companies that we think meet the parameters to be those hidden gems. I also want to make sure you understand that this is not a paid-for promotion. I collect no compensation for the interviews I do here. These companies that I interview have been identified as potential opportunities for me and the members of Alpha Wolf Trading to receive a higher than average return on our investment. These companies I have identified either because of a technical setup on a chart, a fundamental change within the organization, new management team, new products, all kinds of different things that actually lead me here. But what do I think is the most important? Leadership. And that is why I do these interviews. I want to understand what drives the person that is leading the charge. I want to feel their passion. I want to understand their vision and the strategy that they're going to use to achieve success. That is what these interviews are for. I want to understand the share structure and the cap table, the size of the TAM, the total addressable market. This is the opportunity to learn all of those things. So sit back and enjoy. And if you learn anything from today's interview, do us a favor. Subscribe to the Alpha Wolf Trading YouTube channel. Hey everybody, Tim from Alpha Wolf Trading coming at you with another CEO interview. This is actually a follow-up, one of my favorite stories. Louis Laflamme from Opsense. Louis, how are you doing today?
I'm doing really great, Tim. We are just finalizing our third quarter today, so always good to reach not a finish line, but a certain place where we can accumulate our results and down the road present this to the street.
Okay, so things are going well for Opsense, but it's the stock is not reflecting that, right?
Yeah.
But that is not indicative of it being a Opsense story. That's indicative of a tough market right now, right?
Yeah, I would say that yes, of course. I mean, we are not happy with the stock performance. We feel that okay, the company has really unique core competencies in terms of sensing, in terms of developing what we call pressure guide wire for cardiology, and in particular a more recent product for transaortic valve replacement, which is really a high growth market. So on a short-term basis, yes, the stock did not move necessarily in the right direction, but what we see in the field, and we have tangible proof of that, is that we are going in the right direction. So as we publicly communicated in our Q2 conferences, so for the results that were ending on February 28th, we are confident that Q3 will be an historical record from a revenue standpoint. And on top of that, for our new product called the Savvy Wire for TAVR, we got tangible proof of success. Recently, we have been included into a major clinical study performed by Edwards called Complete TAVR. So a specific section or sub-study has been dedicated to the Savvy Wire, and we think it will be great for us to be able to show the performance of our product to a larger community. And on top of this, soon we expect to be in a position to do the full commercial launch of the SavvyWire, because right now it was still on a controlled manner, but the feedback from physicians, from customers, from administration has been really positive. And on top of this, down the road, we are still looking to get CE mark approval, which would be a major news for us, because it would open the market in Europe, where we already have a large distributor network doing the commercialization of our OptoWire for coronary artery disease. So in summary, yes, we don't like to see the stock going in the wrong direction, but we feel that Opsens is doing the right thing and having the right success or reaching its key performance indicators that should lead to a more positive trend around the stock price.
So, how you said the CE mark, right?
Yes.
When does that process, is that already began? And then what's the estimated potential time for finding out the results?
It has been running for a while, where we file the application. We are, the target date for us should be beginning of fall. So we think that we may be 2 months or 3 months away from getting the CE mark. It can come earlier, it can come later, but overall, what we know is that we are really confident in the work that we perform to demonstrate the safety of the device. Obviously, having done more than 1,000 cases in North America is also a good support to help us secure the approval.
So define the CE mark for somebody that doesn't know what that even means.
Well, CE mark is somehow the authorization to commercialize a device in the European community. So we could say it's the equivalent of the FDA 510(k) clearance that we got, where the product would be accepted in Europe. While right now, the only thing we could do in Europe was we performed a 120 patient study in Spain, and this was just to show safety, but also to get the first experience with European cath lab, which can be different than what the experience we have in US. So we already have this work being done. So as soon as we get the CE mark approval, we'll be ready to do a rollout much faster than what we've done with other products that we had before.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so let me ask you a question, Louis. The big question right now, especially for small cap, micro cap companies, right? Everybody is concerned for anyone that may possibly need to do some kind of a capital raise, right? You're not in a position, you don't need to raise capital.
We've done a raise in December 2022. So right now, we are not in need for additional cash resources. The focus is really to deliver on execution in terms of showing revenue growth. We in the first 2 quarters of our fiscal year 2023, Opsens was able to show really substantial growth. I mean, north of 30%, and also there was a substantial increase in the gross margin rate. So we moved the gross margin percentage from 50% to 57% in the first 6 months, and we feel there is room to continue to prove that or even do better. So that's the focus that we have. We have the right balance sheet position. We have a really strong working capital. So we feel we are in a fantastic position to create value for shareholders, despite challenging markets for the small cap companies.
Right. Very challenging market, but we talked a couple of weeks ago, everyone seems to think we are heading into a recession, and I'm in a very different place. I think we're closer to the end of that recession than we are to the beginning of that recession. I think we've been in a recession actually for a while, especially in the small cap and micro cap space, right? I think that yes, interest rates are climbing, but I think the Fed is probably at the tail end of those interest rate increases, and I think that we've gotten through some really tough times. We've gotten through a pandemic. We've gotten through supply chain issues that have been historic in nature. We've gotten through now a interest rate hike cycle that was the fastest in history. And we're still kicking. I still see a lot of positive things that are happening, right?
I mean, what you say, for us, I mean, being in the medical sector and cardiology and having a mix of OEM customers that are using our fiber optic sensing technology and our own product for either coronary artery disease or structural heart, even in an economical cycle where the general economy would be tougher, it's still a place where, I mean, if there is procedure, hospital, they need to spend money, they need to be efficient. The feedback we got from customers is that having the cellular as a tool in their hands is helping them to be more efficient in the procedure. So obviously, we prefer a strong economy that is positive for on multiple factors, but we feel that we can create a substantial value for shareholders, even if the economy would be tougher.
Right. So you've had some KOLs also that have come forth on your product. Do you want to just real quick give people the savvy wire with the what makes it unique and special?
Yeah. So when we come back, when we met doctors to try to define what would be our second product, we sat with multiple expert key opinion leaders in structural heart, and what they said to us is that first they had some I mean, if they can be more efficient, if they can do faster procedure, less number of steps, they all prefer that. This being said, they want to have the right information. They want to do the best for their patient. So when we look at that, today in the existing TAVR workflow, often in US, okay, they use one product to deliver the valve. They use another device to do the heart stimulation, and then they use other devices to get the pressure gradient. We felt that we could do all of that only with one tool. So in that context, they potentially can eliminate some steps, as example, on the pacing side, where they want to do heart stimulation. And from a pressure gradient standpoint, we have what we think is the best pressure sensing technology for medical application. So we insert our sensor into the wire. So consequently, they could have all of that in real time with our technology and products. And that's where the feedback is really positive about physician, because they can optimize their work, they can eliminate some steps, potentially save times, and still they have really, really accurate information.
So for those of you that don't know, KOLs are key opinion leaders, right? So you've had some that have stepped up and really taken to the product and brought up the efficiency of the product, right?
Absolutely. And on a short-term basis, again, there would be the TVT conference in US in 2 weeks. And again, we are anticipating that the cellular will get great exposure on the podium with, again, top key opinion leaders, either from US or Canada.
Beautiful. All right. So I think that, we talked, you're going to have your quarter coming up. We just
Yes.
wanted to have a quick kind of let everybody know we're doing okay. You know, Opsense is in good shape. You don't need need to raise any capital. And you're just looking to get back to that trajectory of growth, right?
Yes, I mean, and I mean, looking forward to do another update with you after the publication of Q3 results. We mentioned in Q2 that it was going to be a record, and you know, we'll see from there.
All right, I'm anxiously awaiting. I have a feeling you're going to do what you say you were going to do, Louis. I mean, you've been a straight shooter from day one. I like your style of leadership, right? So
Thank you, but obviously it's a team effort. You know, we have a fantastic commercial team based in US in Minneapolis. We have fantastic R&D and innovation here in Quebec City. So we are in the right markets and we'll do well for our shareholders.
Yeah, I believe that to be true, and I think that this right now, and I'm just going to go over this and see if maybe I can get this out of my way here. Let me see. I want to move that chart over. Let's see. This new microphone is great and everything, but it kind of gets in the way of my other screen. All right, let's take a look at this. From a technical standpoint, okay, that is actually the weekly. This is now the daily. And you've been in a bit of a downtrend. And I am in the way. I need to move myself, actually, is what I need to do. Hold on a second. I think I can do that. Yep. I'm going to shrink me down.
Yeah. Here we go.
There we go. Perfect. So look, it's been in a downtrend, but you are coming up to a key area, which is, what is that? The dollar. That's the $1 level, right? That's a psychological area for people. Now, I'm not going to say that it's not going to pierce the dollar. It could, but the reality is this: this company isn't. Well, let me ask you, Louis. Is this company in better position and stronger than it was 12 months ago?
Sure, no doubt. Just securing, you know, the commercial clearance in US for SaryWater and doing 1,000 cases rapidly is putting us in a great position. And you know, I'm not an expert in the technical analysis like you, but what we can see is that in the last few days and few weeks, volume has been climbing, and even the stock has been recovering a little bit. So you know,
so actually we just retook the 50-day moving average, right? Which is actually the yellow line.
Okay.
You just retook the 50-day moving average, and you are the 50-day is actually starting to curl to the upside. You can see that, right? So if I'm to just project out, right? You've got your earnings coming in July, right? Around the 12th, I think it is, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
It would not be a big shocker to see the stock potentially move in a positive direction ahead of earnings, right? Because typically at least the market is supposed to be looking ahead and pricing things ahead of time, right? So I could see that happening. What's very interesting to me is that you have this, what you call a double bottom. It's like almost to the penny. You came down, you hit this area, and you bounced right off of it. So that tells me you've got a lot of support at that $1 area. And if the news flow starts to get better and better, You got the C mark coming, which I would be shocked if you didn't get that, right? So there, you've got some catalysts on the horizon. And
Absolutely. And we could even see, so SavvyWire was included in Complete TAVR. You may see also SavvyWire being included into other major clinical studies that would provide exposure to us.
right, perfect. All right, so I'm not telling anybody to buy the stock. That's not what I do. What I do is I say, look at the story and then ask yourself, what is the risk reward in this stock? And I would say that your downside risk is far less than your potential upside reward. That's just my opinion. That and $5 will get you a pretty decent cup of coffee. But what you can do is start following the story, right? Pay attention to the earnings that are coming out on the 12th. Put this one on your watch list. And if you're comfortable enough, I know everybody's worried that we're heading into a recession, but scared money that's sitting on the sidelines does nothing. It's just scared money that sits on the sidelines. So this is where opportunity knocks, and hopefully some savvy people out there will take advantage of the opportunity. And there's no pun intended there. All right, so listen, Louis, we'll have you back right after your earnings, and then we'll have a more in-depth conversation about what exactly is happening there. And that's it. All right.
Perfect, Tim.
All right, Louis, thanks for coming in. Hold on 1 second. Let me shut this off. Thank you for tuning in to today's interview with Louis Laflamme from Opsense Inc. Ticker symbol OP. S as in Sam, S as in Sam, F as in Frank. I hope you enjoyed today's interview, and if you did, please do us a favor, give us a like. Why not give us a share? And while you're at it, how about giving us a follow? Until next time, stay safe. Alpha Wolf Trading wishes you the very best of success.